games uiteindelijk. De reden waarom dat wij hier bij jullie zijn, is dat er morgen een prachtige game op de markt komt, namelijk Super Mario 3D World voor Wii U. En dat is de reden dat Howest Kortrijk in België is, om eigenlijk promotie te maken voor deze prachtige game. Hij gaat jullie meer vertellen wat het eigenlijk inhoudt een stemacteur zijn, en specifiek voor Mario games. En ik hoop dat jullie ook heel veel vragen hebben daaromtrent. Voilà. Ik wens jullie heel veel aandacht.
Is it okay if I speak in English?
Yes.
No problem. Okay, great. Hello, it's me, Mario. Woohoo! And Luigi too. Ho ho! And when Luigi, everybody cheek with me. And baby Luigi. And baby Mario. Let's go. And don't forget about Wario. Have a rotten day. So that's me. Thank you very much for coming today. You know, you guys are all in the business of creating video games, right? That's spectacular. Congratulations. I hope it works really well for everybody. I'll tell you first how I became a voiceover actor or an actor at all, and then Mario, and then the years of Mario. And I hope that everybody here goes away with an idea of you know, living your life and building your dream and following your heart and doing what you love to do in life. Because you can hear no many times in your life, but if you are pursuing your own destiny, the answer is always going to be yes. It may not look the way you think it will, but it will be yes, you know. I was in college at UC Berkeley studying political science with a theory emphasis going into international law, and all of a sudden I couldn't get a class, any class with the professor that I wanted. The first professor that had ever said, what do you think about, you know, ... And, you know, so I'd never been asked that in my academic career, and I thought, wow, this is the guy I want to write my thesis for. This is the one I take all the classes from. And the next of my final quarters, I couldn't get a single class with him, and so I did what I did. I pouted and I left school. And a friend of mine said, well, come and take an acting class from me. And I said, there's absolutely no way I could ever be an actor. I could never stand in front of people and talk or be a character. It's impossible. He said, well, it doesn't matter if you can do that or not. Just come and take an acting class. And I said, but Les, I don't want to. I'm scared to death. And I was sure I was going to die. And somehow he convinced me. Well, he convinced me to go because there was a student-run cafeteria, so I could, you know, eat lunch with him in the day and then go do the class. So he talked me into it through my stomach. So I said, okay, all right, I'll go. And the first thing you do in acting school is you do monologues. As I'm sure here, the first thing you do is drawing or something that you, okay, this, bam, that marks the beginning. You know, that's where you start. So we did this Spoon River anthology, a story about a bunch of dead people. And each person comes back and says, oh, I died a terrible death, oh, you know. So I was like Joe, the guy that died in some fire. And I was terrified the whole time, absolutely petrified, sure that I was going to die as soon as I stood up. So I waited, and I waited, and I waited, just to add to the story, the building of the stress, until I was the last person. There was no more choice. I had to go. And I remember going up, and I remember vividly, you know, I start the monologue terrified, and my right leg starts shaking like this. My knee is going like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta run up. And I put my weight on that knee, and I say, oh, I died a terrible death. The fire was, oh, my other one. And I put my legs apart, and that'd be better. And then both of them were, and I was convinced that I was saying, I died, you know. And I finished my monologue. I did not die. I did not die. And people went, oh, that's what, you know, you're the only person in the class that wasn't nervous. And my heart, you know, and really? I come on, and, you know, and so I thought, well, all right, I kept doing it, and I started getting a little bit less nervous. And then I gained confidence. I went and I auditioned for the school play, the Midsummer Night's Dream, for the lead role of Oberon, you know, the king of the fairies. And I'm sitting there, well, you know, I, Oberon, king of the fairies. And we, you know, in college you watch each other do this audition. So I watch everybody else do their audition, you know, and then I go up there, you know, I, Titania, king of the night, you know. And I did my audition, and I thought, touchdown! I got this for sure, because I watched everybody else. I was sure that I was right. I knew that I was going to get the part. And the next day I walked, you know, to where the casting was going to be, and I, oh yes, let me see where I am. A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, Oberon, not me. What? And I looked, and not only did I not get the lead, I didn't get anything. I didn't get the bunny rabbit holding a carrot. Nothing. Nothing. And I thought, oh, I know I was good. I know I did well. And it didn't fly. And so I thought, okay, that failure was the beginning for me of being an actor. Because from that, it set the fire that started me going, okay, I am going to work on everything I can possibly. I'm going to learn monologues. I'm going to learn scenes. I'm going to push. And I started doing the speech classes, and I did the tournaments, and we won the state and the national championships, and you know, then I was acting, and all I could do was think about was acting. And you know, Berkeley Repertory Theater, professional theater, came and auditioned at the school, not in the big, you know, big room, but the little classroom. And I went in and I auditioned with the Oberon monologue that I didn't get the part for. And right against the same people who did get Oberon and did get all the roles. And I got the apprenticeship. I got the part. And I studied at Berkeley Rep and worked at Berkeley Rep. And then I went to school in England to the drama studio, came back, started doing more and more studies, more and more theater things, and then transitioned into corporate videos, corporate films, voiceover, you know, and it just, one thing has led to another. So I will always say, you know, make these conscious choices, but it's also true that you just, life has a way of happening, you know, which was great for me. But it was the failure that made me want to become an actor, and I'm not even sure exactly how I made the choices along the way, but I knew that I wanted to be happy. I knew that I wanted to be an artist, and I knew, you know, and if you had said to me 35 years ago, oh, you're going to be doing voiceover, I'd say, no, no, no. I'm going to be a purist. I'm going to be a theater actor, working in New York and Los Angeles or anywhere in the world. I'm going to be, but there it is, you know. So here you are at the beginning of your careers, which I hope are really fun for all of you. You never know what your life is going to look like creatively. But if you're always creating, and always creating, not for approval, but for your own process, you'll be successful in ways that you don't know today, but will be great, you know? So there I am being an actor, and I'm doing corporate videos, you know, and a friend of mine, well, I did this, I became a voice actor because I was doing a shoot for a commercial, you know, with the American Gothic photograph, where I'm the farmer with the pitchfork, and I've got my wife beside me, you know. I said, great, that's a wrap. Hey, listen, the guy goes, do you do voiceover? And I said, sure I do. What's a voiceover? Well, you know, here, just read this copy. And I said, okay, great, you know. Orchard Supply Hardware, the right item at the right price right now. Perfect, here's another $100. And I said, I'm a voiceover actor. And this was just that simple for me. So I started doing other things. And one day I was doing what a lot of actors do, waiting for the phone to ring. And I'm on the beach, and a friend of mine calls up and says, hey, there's an audition for a trade show in Las Vegas. You should go crash it, because I'm going to work it too. You should go crash it. And I said, there's absolutely no way I'm a professional. I would never crash an audition. Where is it? And I have no idea why, but I went to this audition. I was very late getting there. The camera was on the way out the door with the producer and the cameraman. And I said, can I just read for this? And all right, come on in. We'll set the camera up. You're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn. So make up a voice, make up a video. You're a video game character. So make up a video game. You're going to have these things glued to your face for a real-time animation system. So you'll have hidden camera, hidden microphone, and you'll talk, and this character should, you know, like, hello, I'm Mario. Hello, I'm Mario. So start talking. Whenever you run out of things to say, that's your audition. And I'm like, okay, Italian plumber from Brooklyn, you know. Hey, how you doing? I'm under your sink, you know. Or, hey, don't bother me, I'm working here, you know. And I'm thinking, I don't want to do a character that is gruff and rough. I want to do something that's nicer, because what if they're kids? I can talk and play. And I also believe that, you know, comedy should always be a reflection inside and not a reflection. You know, it's like, I don't want to laugh at this person because, you know, oh, you're short, or you're tall, or you're skinny, or you're fat, because that hurts, you know. And when I was in that first acting class, I remember vividly this one young actor, you know, well, we weren't actors, we were all students, and he had a stutter. And I said, well, you know, a stutter, you know, I can't talk. And he was doing it, and I said, you know, did you always have that? And he said, no. I was 21 years old on my 21st birthday. We were in Las Vegas. We went to a comedy show, and this comedian, you know, they find out that it's my birthday. The lights come on me. You know, we're at our table, and I'm scared to death, and I stand up, and, you know, and he starts saying, hey, you acne-faced, pimply, fat kid, what's the matter with you? You know, you're ugly, you know. And he started making jokes about this guy. And he said, everyone was laughing more and more and more, and I felt smaller and smaller and smaller. And then the next morning, I woke up, and I've had this stutter ever since, you know. So as every artist will do, and hopefully every human being does, you know, you mark things in your mind. It's like, okay, for me, mark, never comedy at somebody's expense. Always bring it back to the character. So that, you know, well, Luigi, everybody cheat with me. Oh, hello, eyeball guy. I'm so rotten, you know. So it comes back that he's the fool and not the person that he's drawing the eyeballs on. So, you know, you make choices like that. And in that spontaneous moment, I'm doing this audition, and it's like, well, who do I want to be? Is it, you know, hey, get out of my face, I'm working here? Or is it somebody else? And I luckily had played Gremio in Taming of the Shrew a few years before. Yeah, Gremio, nice old Italian guy, talking like this. And I thought, oh, I'll do something like that, but I'll make it younger. And then, but I don't know anything about video games, so what am I going to, oh, well, I'll just talk, and all of a sudden I hear action. And I look at the camera and I say, hello, I'm Mario. Okie dokie, let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage. I'm going to get spaghetti meatballs. We put spaghetti meatballs in the sausage with the pizza. Then I'm going to cheese with the pizza. And I just started making things up. And I just started playing. And I just started having fun. The way you, no doubt, can pick up a pencil and draw and just have fun. I just had fun. And you know, and then also there was that little imp in me that said, I wonder if he really means keep talking until I run out of things to say, because if that's what he means, then I'm going to see if that's really true, you know. And so I just kept going, you know. And then we make spaghetti meatballs, and I chase you up the hill, and then we're going to roll the meatball down the hill, and if the meatball rolls over you, you got to eat the meatball. Then you got to make meatball for me, and, you know. And I just kept going because I was having fun until I heard, cut, stop talking, please. There's no more videotape. Thank you. We'll be in touch. You know, I was like 30, 35 minutes apparently. And he actually, the producer turned to the cameraman and he said, do you think if we walked out of the room right now and came back in 20 minutes, he'd still be talking? And the camera guy goes, let's go, let's get out of here. You know? So, but what was interesting was, you know, for me, you know, we'll be in touch means that's the kiss of death, there's the door, get out. But he got on the phone, called Nintendo, and said, I found our Mario, I got it. And I'm not sure why I got the job, but I can tell you that what he told me afterwards is that every other actor would start, you know, and, you know, he said, you know, hey, how you doing? My name's Mario. I'm a plumber, and I'm from Brooklyn, and I love to do my plumbing thing. Is it something like that you're looking for? And he'd say, yep, that was, thank you, next. Everybody was asking permission. Everybody else was asking, is it like this that you want it? Or is it something other way? Am I doing it right? They were apologizing for not getting it right or trying to find what he was looking for. And it's the same thing with every artist. If you express your soul, your heart, you always do something that is investing you into. If you're trying to do something that's going to sell, if you're trying to do something that's going to be what the producer wants, you won't sell it. You won't get it. And I have no idea what that's about. But you guys have a whole lifetime and career to try to figure that one out, because I don't know what it is. But I know when I go in and someone says to me, you know, I want the voice of Mickey Mouse, I go, oh boy, okay, Goofy, let's do it a great time. Yeah, I have gone in and done auditions where people go, that was exactly the Goofy. That's exactly the voice, and you don't get the part. And why is that? And I'm convinced that artistry is very much education, observation,